Okay, this is, I'm going to show you how to hand rub one of these out. This is a fingerboard I did with the inlay on. I'm just filling it with epoxy right now. I'll move that out of the way. It's really an inlay. It's actually an engraving with black in it. They sent me the logo. So if you need your logo engraved in your fingerboard, send it to me. I'll take care of it for you. Send me the logo and send me what you want it engraved in, and I can engrave out just about anything. If it's real detailed, then I can't. But you know, basic line artwork and all, no problem. All right, so I'm gonna rub this top out. I have all this. We'll buy everything at the store, whatever, right? But basically, the main thing I want to do is I want to use this 3M. This is the rubbing compound. Super heavy duty rubbing compounds. Okay. I want to get it all over the place, and basically I gotta get all this crap out that's in here. So before we assemble it, and I'll brush that out. This stuff winds up everywhere. I'll explain a couple things to you. This is lacquer, so nitro can burn. I've done UV, which is ultraviolet. You can't burn it. You can hold it on the buffing wheel for 100 years, and it's impossible because the heat doesn't affect it. And then you have urethanes, and urethanes are really, they're hard. You can buff them. They don't burn through too easy. On the edges they do. Easy to sand through. Problem with urethane and other, like lacquer's the only one where if you make a mistake you can spray over it and hide it. Like a polyester, you have to refinish a whole area. Same thing with and when you're painting urethane, if you don't follow the exact instructions, like you say you take a phone call, it says every 20 minutes you got to spray it, or every 30 minutes, and never wait more than an hour and a half. You got to adhere to that, or otherwise you got to sand the whole top out, because it will not stick to itself, and you'll get these. They look like we call them like fish eyes. They're not really fish eyes, but they're. You can see the difference between where it didn't stick, and the only way to fix that is to strip the whole thing. So it's easier to, if somebody's going to call you, say, look, I'm going to be in the paint booth 3 hours, don't call me. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit on here. I got a little rag. All right, so I take the big rag and I cut it into a little rag, because this rag is going to be useless when I'm done with it. I'm just going to rub it out, and I don't want to get it in there, so I'm going to put it on the rag at this point, just a little bit. I'm going to try not to get it in there. That's literally impossible. And I'm going to rub this out. But the reason I'm doing this is because when I take it to the buffing wheel later, I want to get as many scratches out as I can. So we're going to rub it out a little bit. And I'm also going to use this on the wheel because this will actually keep the wheel cool. And I use another Manzerna compound, which I'll go into later, which I get from Jeff Silver at Jescar Industries, which is like my final buffer. So in this place, I'm just getting any scratches that are in here out. Now I am doing a circular motion sometimes, because some areas are like really hard to get to. And you can see it's shining it. But what you're doing to make it shine is like you're literally just taking scratches out. That's what shine is. If you have scratches, there's no shine. So you want to do is you want to make them scratches as small as possible, so that you can't even see them with your eye. You see, I'm trying not to get any compound in there. So we just rubbed it out. Yeah, I should get a job in the Asian massage parlor, right? Right, so we rubbed that out. Alright, so now at this point, I got most of the scratches out. Yeah, that took it up to another level. I guess I don't know, this is equal to like 2,000, I have no idea. Maybe 3,000. And some people like a dull finish, but I want to get a nice shine on this thing. So, we got that. And the more you rub, the shinier it's going to get. But you got to get all those little areas. The reason I do this is because it's going to be easier. It's nitro. And if I take it to the buffing wheel, I have to take a chance of burning through. And buffing wheels are a little... I have an upright buffer, which I'll go into, which I made myself from... they wanted like zillions of dollars for... not zillions, but you spend like $800-900 for a buffer if you buy it from Stu Mac, or even if you buy it from Grizzly. But I bought I figured, oh, I just need the motor. So I bought a flap sander. It was like $169, but it had the the motor I needed, and I just changed them out. And then I put buffing pads on there. Got the buffing pads also. I get them from Jescar. Nice guy. Now I don't know if you can see how nice and shiny this is. Where I'm working. I mean, you could almost get away without doing it, but you see the shine? And there's still compound on there. That was with that one. Now I'm going to just hit it with another compound, which is a little finer. Which is this is a squirrel scratch remover. Get a different rag. That one's toast. Just gotta be careful when you throw them out. I think it contains whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, you gotta shake this stuff up. And this is, again, this is a finer polish, a finer compound. Oop, a little more than I needed there. This is a finer compound, so I'll just get rid of what I don't need. And then, so each one of these has smaller and smaller particles in it. So a smaller particle will give you it'll remove the scratches. Okay. So I'm trying not to get it in there, but I know it's literally impossible. But this is just hand rubbing it out. Now, what I was doing with the mineral spirits without clogging the paper, as I spoke about earlier, somebody told me that's called French polishing. I don't know. That was Bill Lawrence. He passed away a while ago, but he was a pickup maker, and he used to be up in Pennsylvania. I used to go visit him all the time, and then he moved out to California, but he called it French polishing. I don't know if that's his real name or not, but I did pick it up from him. So here we go. We got this. This thing is like looking amazing at this point, and I haven't even hit the buffing wheel yet. There's a couple different buffers I'll get into, but again, I use a compound when I'm buffing because it keeps it cool, and you don't want to burn through. That's the last thing you want to do. Well, two things you don't want to do. You don't want to drop it and have it shoot out of your hand. That's kind of annoying. That happens at least once in your life usually, and then you never do it again. You learn where and not. When you're buffing, you can't hit any sharp edge. So I got to buff this corner, that corner, this corner. If you're gonna buff here, you got to buff down, not this way, because it'll rip it right out of your hand. And they don't work well when they hit the ground. So, all right. So I don't know if you can see, hopefully in the tape, but just how nice this is. And that's just from hand rubbing it. I mean, there was no, I haven't hit any power on it. As far as buffers go, which I'm going to shut the tape off in a second so it don't go too long. But you can sit here all day and do this, and it's just going to get shinier and shinier and shinier. You know, it's a labor of love finish. It really is. You know, if you don't have the patience for it, then you can't do it. But it's coming up beautiful. And when you see when I'm done, I'll get off the buffer. Okay. All right, I'm going to shut the tape off, and I'll come back. I got a nice clean rag here. I'm just going to wipe that white crap off of there. And there you go. And that's just hand rubbed. Now you can see I didn't rub real hard over here. I can see there's some spots. And I do this. You don't necessarily have to do this. I do it because I just want less time on the buffing wheel over there. I don't want to get any of those scratches out. Okay. We'll wipe that off. I mean, it looks real nice. But you can see, I don't know if you can see the tape, but you can see scratches. And that's my next move to get rid of them. All right, I'm going to shut the tape off, and I will be back.